don't think Lucas is going to make it because he's on vacation, but we'll get started with the roll call vote. Bob, or roll call.
Here.
Jim?
Gallagher here.
Sean?
Here.
Ed?
Here.
Justin?
Here.
All righty. Everybody get a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Motion to accept the minutes of the,
I've got one correction before we do the motion. Sean, you spelled Lucas's first name wrong. You spelled him Lukac.
Say again, please.
You spelled Lucas's first name wrong.
Yeah.
It's halfway down the page. You spelled him Lukac.
Okay. I'll take a look at that.
I was kind of hoping he was be on here because I was going to call him that in the roll call, but
not for nothing, but the only thing I know so far is how to run a meeting. And what you may want to do is like accept the motion, get a second, and then on the comments or the discussion, then change that.
okay.
So that's on the record.
I thought we do the comments first and then accept the minutes with the changes.
We can do whatever you want because you're in charge. Does that make a motion to accept the corrected minutes?
Second.
All right. Bob, you accept the minutes?
Aye.
Jim?
Gallagher, aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Ed?
Aye.
And Justin Stone, I accept the minutes too. All right. Justin, turn it over to you for VSO notes and intro letters updates.
I have been out this week due to COVID. I contracted COVID over the weekend, and
Oh, no.
yeah, so this week's been kind of a wash. I was hoping to get a start on getting the letters out with a senior work-off person assisting me, but I was not able to. So they will start next week. I got approval. Well, I was told that we could probably find the money to pay for that, for the mailing. So they should be going out over the next week or two. I don't know if I'll be able to do them all in one batch because 700 letters is a lot of letters, but I will be working on getting them out. So I did talk with the town administrator. He was all right with spending a couple $100 to mail them out. So we'll be moving on that.
Sounds good. Thank you for doing
other
that.
notes, we're getting closer to Memorial Day. I'm getting a little nervous because we haven't gotten our flags yet. I'm told we will have them by like the first or second week of May. But I usually like to have them in April just so we have them in case people want to go out early and put some flags on. So we'll probably have them no later than the second week of May just because of production. We're also paying $1.25 for each flag, whereas last year we paid like 70 cents per flag.
Mhm.
So they're a lot more expensive this year. Yeah, I don't really have any other much other stuff to update. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
My head's a little foggy too because I'm still feeling pretty sick. But
Yeah. And you could have let us know too, and it would have been good if you didn't call into this meeting.
I mean, I'm sitting at home anyway, so I'm happy to be part of the meeting if that's all right.
Yeah.
Can
If
you
you start
catch
coughing,
COVID on a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, I'll mute. I do have a pretty good
I was going to say cough into the camera.
cough.
Please don't. I have to process all these meetings. Don't call them.
Well, feel better soon. And yeah.
I'm sorry, my daughter came.
No, I was just saying, we hope you feel better soon.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm on the downside, so or the upside. I'm feeling a lot better now. So
That's good.
yeah, Easter and Monday was awful. So I didn't even watch the marathon. I was so out of it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think watching a bunch of people run while you have COVID is probably not a good idea.
Oh, I was exhausted just the thought of it.
Right. Exactly.
But it's funny because I'm vaccinated and boosted, so I didn't think I was going to get it, but I guess the girls had it, even though we tested them for it, and they were tested at urgent care. They came back negative, And then I tested positive this week for it. We got it from our daycare. So it was funny because my wife had COVID a couple months ago and she's been fine all week. I'm like, how are you not getting sick? Like the kids are sick, I'm sick. And then she was fine. She's like, oh, it must be COVID. Turns out it was.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And I can
Well,
tell you the booster and the vaccine seemed to make it much less. It was more like a short flu than anything else. It was even less bad than the last time when I had the flu. I think I had the flu for about a week, and this was only 3 or 4 days of really badness.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's what I've heard. That
Uh,
really helps.
that concludes my VSO notes and intro letters update. Pending any
All
questions.
right. Well, feel better soon. Lucas isn't here to talk about the Memorial Day parade update. I believe there was an email that he sent out saying that he was coordinating with the people. Has anybody heard anything from the VFW or the Legion on the Memorial Day parade? Okay. I'll shoot him an email and ask for an update that way. I sent out our letters to Grafton News and the Facebook page, and so that went out. And believe I sent out the email to everyone with the DAB notes. I don't know if the DAB has a big presence here in Grafton. My buddy, he lives in Leominster, and or I know I say that town wrong.
He lives where?
What is it? It's Lemon. I don't even remember. And I'm screwing myself up.
Leominster, yeah.
Leominster.
Leominster.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a good thing he doesn't live in Billerica.
Yeah. So, are y'all familiar with the DAV as far as their meetings and stuff? Do we get a lot of stuff from them? Okay.
Oh,
I've lived in this state my whole life, and I've only ever gotten like a mailing once or twice a year since I've gotten out of the military. So I haven't really seen a lot of their presence. I know they're around. They do have like the van drivers, and they have some chapters, but I have no idea where those meetings takes place, or if they even have like a Legion post has like an actual building. I don't know if the DAV has an actual post anywhere in our state. Probably in Boston.
Yeah, they are in Boston because I went through them with my my stuff. So I was working with them out of Boston at the end. But I could reach out to my coworker and see if he can give me some more information. I had the contact information in one of the emails too, and just see what they do, and maybe if we can get tagged into if they send out emails or something like that. That might be some good information. Jim, I know you're sending out those VA newsletters, and I look at them. I get the VA newsletters myself, but I know, Bob, you probably don't get them, so it might be good to continue to send them out. I look in there and see if there's anything of importance that we should discuss, but unfortunately, with where we're at and not really having a lot of people that we're actually helping yet, there's not much. Yep, Bob.
I was going to say to Jim that if you come across any opportunities for veterans-related public service announcements, to send them my way so that we can build them into the schedule on TV.
absolutely. While I'm talking, which is usually always, I'm also for the when I saw that I had Facebook page. Did you allude to the fact that we already have a page? Because I made a page, but
Okay.
Full disclosure, my daughter made my Facebook page, set it up and put pictures on it and everything. I don't have a clue. So I've got one that says Grafton Veterans Advisory Committee, but I tried to like email everyone in the group and it was saying I was doing it wrong. So.
Okay. And I think you sent out an email talking about that and having like a calendar of events and things. So that's why I put that on the agenda, was I wanted to have you explain what it was. I think that's great. I think we should have a Facebook page. My question though is, should we set it up so it's a personal page, or should the town set it up and where it's linked to the town of Grafton Facebook page?
Well, if we set it up, we have to have it set up by someone whose name isn't Jim Gallagher. 'Cause I'm completely lost. Like I said, it's, if you do your search on Facebook and do Grafton Community, Grafton Veterans Advisory Committee, you'll come to the page, and there's nothing on it.
Okay.
So I don't know how to do it.
Okay. I'll do that after the meeting. I'll search for it and probably get some of the information from you and see if we can maybe take it over as a user group or something. Sean, I saw your hand up go up first. I saw you, Justin.
There, when you go to your Facebook page or Facebook in general, you see groups. If we don't do it formally through the town, would we do it, shall we say, slightly informally as a group? Because if you look, there's a different Grafton groups. There's also, like, for example, old shipmates or different ships have groups up there also. So, yeah, I think we have a couple of options depending on how we want to try and do this.
Yeah. Justin, and then I'll get to you, Bob.
I know with the Central Mass Veteran Service District page, it's linked to my personal page. That's how I've got control of it, I guess. But it's two separate pages. So anything I post personally doesn't automatically show up, and vice versa. Anything I post professionally doesn't. So someone's personal page may have to be linked with it in order for them to be able to manage the page for the board.
Okay.
That's my limited understanding of how Facebook works now. Even though I was in the era where Facebook came to my school and we got like free accounts, I don't know what it is anymore.
Bob.
So I am looking at Jim's Grafton Veterans Advisory Committee Facebook page, and he's right. There's nothing here. So,
Well, the name is there. I did aces on the name.
yeah, it's here. And then it's got a lovely
job,
banner
Jim.
that has nothing to do with veterans as far as I can tell.
Not a thing.
It does say that you can join the group. And I'm guessing that if I joined the group, you could make me an admin and then I could make changes. But I believe because we're a standing committee, we probably should investigate through the TA's office to find out how they want us to handle it.
Yeah, that's my thought is, if anything, I mean, they may absorb the group. I think the work that you did, Jim, wouldn't go to waste, or that your daughter did wouldn't go to waste. I think we can maybe still use the page. It just might have to get absorbed into the town.
Yeah,
Justin?
you can transfer ownership to someone else. You can share, and I'm sure, Jim, that your daughter would probably be able to figure that out. So don't.
I'm absolutely willing to share my page.
Okay.
That has a name on it, and that's
Fantastic.
all.
You know what?
I need somebody young. Would your daughter be willing to run it for us? Set it up.
No, we're gonna have to go to my 12-year-old granddaughter for that. Sorry.
Oh, all right. No, but I think that's great work, Jim, and thank you for doing that. And it's just another way that we can get information out.
Stoney, you're too kind, but it really wasn't great work. If it was great work, I would have had it set up and had pictures on it.
Hey,
God knows I could go to Bob's page and steal all of those C-130s and so forth, but no.
to just go do that.
Yeah.
Stop plagiarizing if you tell them.
I know it. But seriously, if anyone has any questions about the name of that page, let me know and I'll let them know what it is.
Okay.
I'm right on that. And then that's all.
And then Bob, you mentioned a schedule of events. Maybe we can use that as our calendar if you're doing like just town-wide events. Instead of creating our own calendar and trying to keep up with it, it would just be maybe using that GCTV one that you run and just adding in our meetings and other stuff.
Yeah, since our last meetings, let me, Jim, do you want to pursue checking with the TA's office about how to handle the Facebook page that you've already created?
Well, I can do that if you want.
Okay, and then we already have a Veterans Advisory Committee page on the Town of Grafton website.
Well, maybe I should just delete this.
I wouldn't be so quick. You've already got it
Yeah.
started. So
And I think we're going to want it. I think it's going to
Okay.
be a good way to get people engaged with us.
And let me just, before I stick my
Oh,
neck out. let me
And I'm
just-
sorry, Bob, actually, Justin, have you printed out the intro letters yet?
No,
Okay, I think we need to add, before we print those out, let's figure out this Facebook page and get the link, and we can send it out in that letter. That'll be another way that people can join us.
you may
So
want to try and get a QR code with that too. That can be put in the letter, so people can just scan it with their phone.
oh gosh. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
Jim, now you're gonna have to really get your 12-year-old granddaughter to.
Yeah, no. QR, no, I don't do anything Qs, unless there's 4 of them. Then I'm familiar with that. With the, with the 4
Don't say it.
Qs.
Don't
Well,
say
all
it.
right.
Don't
But
say
I mean, as far as, it's straightforward. The name is Grafton Veterans Advisory Committee. That's the name of the page. So
Yeah.
if you search on that, as Bob just did, it's there with nothing on it.
Okay, so I'll sort that out and figure that out. I think if the town we transfer it to the town, like I said, I don't think it's going to change anything. Just the town would be the owner, or they may put
Okay.
it down to like us, and then they just monitor it. So
I'll get in touch
Justin, I'll
with the
get that
town
info.
administrator and make sure that we have his blessing.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Bob. I just wanted to make sure before we print out the intro letters that we capture that.
But that's quite all right. I certainly have no rank, so you do whatever you need to do. All right, so Justin
Yes,
Souza, can you
Yes.
share the screen for me?
sure. You should be able to share the screen. Can you?
No, you're the host, so you have total control.
Oh crap! All right. How do I let you? I'm gonna make you the host, Bob. Here we go.
Wow,
Ah,
that was a
Nope.
Heisman right there.
I was gonna say, no pressure now.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. All right, hold on a second.
So the share screen thing is
I
down.
don't know.
Hold on. Now that I've got to navigate to different buttons and different screens.
Do you want me to share my screen? So I
Share
can
the
tell you how to share
screen.
your screen? There you go.
And oh my God.
Hey,
Jim, this is why we
I'm-
need your granddaughter.
I'm trying to find
Right.
the link. to
All
the
right.
page.
Oh, there you go.
I cannot find it.
Stand by. Please stand by while we take care of these technical difficulties. There we go. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you
This-
can actually
this-
zoom out a little if you want to.
This is the existing Veterans Advisory Committee page on the Town of Grafton website. And it has
Nothing.
this nice little blurb about what the committee was set up as. And this portion here is the mission. And then it lists us by name and our term of expiration. And then over here on the right-hand side, as you're looking at the screen, this is the news section and the calendar. And then it shows all of our agendas. So I can go in here and I can manipulate the news section. So if we have events, or we could even put something in as simple as, you know, VE Day and VJ Day, or this day in history kind of stuff, you know, like today was the last day US troops were in Vietnam, or so on and so forth. So we can manipulate this to display whatever we want.
Okay.
So if you want to take time to look at it and you know, maybe we don't like the way this is worded over here to the left, and we definitely can add stuff to the news. So, you know, this is here ready to go. If you want, I can go in and make some changes, and next time we meet, you can take a look at it, or up until that time, you can take a look and make notes, and we can change it around. You could change it on a daily basis. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
All right.
Does the calendar show you events?
This,
Yeah, can we, the first thing I noticed is I would like the calendar to show like when we do. Okay, so you go to the calendar and it shows it. Perfect.
now, yeah, so if you look at the calendar, you notice how the only thing on here is us?
Yeah.
So I've never really seen it look that way before, so it must be just dedicated to us. If you went to the home page and you did the same thing, the calendar shows you public meetings, which are basically government meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, that should come up, and we should be listed there. Yep, see, there we are. And then the calendar that was to the right of that one was the all community events. So this is non-governmental meetings. You can see why it's blank. So yeah, we can play around with that, and then for the next meeting, you know, we can take suggestions on what you want to add or delete. And then here's Jim's Facebook page. This is Jim's wife right here.
Yeah, we're all about inclusion on this page.
So I say there's Jim in the bottom left corner.
That's it. And my son on the stool.
So there
Okay.
we are. This concludes our tour.
Well, that's great. And yeah, Justin, I'll once we figure out this Facebook page thing, we'll get the link. We'll try to set up a QR code, and I'll get the VAC webpage added to the intro letter as well.
So there's a website you can do it for free on. It looks like.
Perfect.
So if you want to, I've got it all set already. So
Okay. Yeah, great.
I'd be happy to help you with that after. Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. And then can you also add the VAC webpage that Bob just showed us to the letter? To the intro letter.
The
Or just send it to me and I'll add it.
or the town website or the QR code for the
Both. So I think we need to do the Facebook link, the QR code for the Facebook link, and then the VAC webpage, town webpage.
having
link as
two
well.
QR codes on the letter might be
I don't think we need to do the QR code for the town webpage,
okay. Just
for the Facebook page.
and then the town.
And,
website.
Bob, while that's on the screen, oh, no, never mind.
Well,
Am I
Bob
gonna
dropped
be
off.
able to, Bob, he just disappeared.
He did. He dropped off.
I never got a chance to thank him.
I wonder why he
Who was that mess, man?
must have closed the whole program instead of just stopping sharing.
I think he did. I think he
Oh.
X'd out of internet and it closes out Zoom too somehow.
Technology's rough.
It is.
So yeah, I used a website called qr-tiger.com or QR code tiger.com, and you can customize the way it looks, the pattern, a whole bunch of stuff. So
Oh,
I think we'll be able to make it look really sick. Sorry, that's a New England euphemism. We'll make it look really cool.
awesome. Any other questions on the Facebook page or calendar?
Nope.
All righty. So the next thing is wanted to just, if you scroll down in the agenda to attachment 1, this Operation Moneywise, Jim sent this out to me and I looked into it. It's offered every year. You have to submit your application by April, and basically it deals with financial empowerment for veterans. And in order to and it's a grant of up to $5,000 for a project. But you have to have the project mapped out. And so this is, Jim, the reason why I didn't pursue this much this year,
Yeah,
because it was a quick turn. But basically, I put here what it is and who all can apply. And I was talking to Justin about it, and we think that there's some benefit to doing this, just not this year. So I wanted to throw it up here now so we can start thinking about ideas of potentially how we can utilize this grant next year for next April. What I don't know is if it's, financial empowerment is kind of a broad term. So is this like just teaching veterans how to do their finances? Could this be job placement or job employment searches? I don't really know the boundaries of this yet.
yeah. The other thing I was wondering is if it's like just for public organizations, and where we're technically a government organization, if we would not be eligible for this. So, but I figured it's best to have somebody else look at it than just
Well,
let it go by.
So when I applied in, or I put in there who can apply, and it doesn't state anything about government organizations. Really, that was it. That was what was in
Yeah.
there. So it's very broad, the requirements, but and they do in that first paragraph, they do go into a little bit of definition about it, but they're talking about basic budgeting, managing debt, preparing for retirement, planning for college, and monetary decision making. That's very generic to me, because I think that we can do a little bit more of a program. We have a lot of seniors here in Grafton, so is there a way that we can benefit our senior veterans with a program like this instead of college savings? Yep, Sean.
If we don't have a budget, I don't know. Well, my experience with some grants is that they sometimes take a while to put together and then get approved. However, would it be worth investigating to see, okay, we get a grant and we say, okay, we're going to use the funds to have veterans workshops, say, be it not so much networking, but business workshop. If someone has has an idea or even wants to meet other guys that might want to start a business or are in business type of thing. So, can we, I guess my because it's so generic, I guess, could we maybe use this as a way of getting money to do programs that we had, or some of the ideas we had kicked around?
And that was my thought, is can we tie it into that? And if we can, if we're interested in this, which it sounds like we are, then could reach out and I can ask them that kind of stuff. Like, we talked about people that want to go to veterans that want to be entrepreneurs. We can bring in other entrepreneur veterans, and then they can talk about, hey, this is what you need to do to get started. We can bring in job recruiting people and focus more on the economic side of financial management. Let's get you in a better spot. And then maybe if we have to tack in some of this debt managing and preparing for retirement and stuff, well, we have the banks, and then they can come in and they can give us, a 2-hour spiel on debt management and retirement savings. So yeah, Justin.
I was recently contacted by a guy from Workers Credit Union. They have an office in Shrewsbury, and he gave me a rundown on, they have what's called financial coaches, and it's free to use. They kind of ask you, hey, we have a $5 minimum savings account you can open if you'd like to, once we've talked to you about all this other stuff. So it's got a little bit of a gimmick. They're trying to get them some business, but I went through the initial meeting with him, myself to get some financial advice, to see what kind of stuff he would talk about. And I think if we were looking to set up something like this, partnering with a credit union or a financial institution that is doing something like that financial coaching, not specifically Workers Credit Union. I'm not trying to plug them at all. I'm just saying they recently reached out to me. But some group like that would probably be the group that should apply for this grant. And then we could help publicize that program and use them as the people to get the grant, and then be the actual, because they have all the financial certifications and stuff like that, that we wouldn't want to necessarily have to worry about getting. They have all that help.
Okay.
But I think maybe getting some sort of maybe even a couple credit unions involved, that I don't know, or banks that would be interested in doing financial coaching, because there's some knowledge there that your average people just don't know. Just in 10 minutes of talking to this guy, I happened to learn a few things, and I was like, oh wow, that's good to know. And I've considered myself very successful and very good at managing my own budget and finances. So I think it's useful, not just for people fresh out of the military, but people who've been out for a while. Yeah, sorry, I got a little off track there, but I think I think that might be a good way, would be to try and find an institution, maybe local to Grafton, that we like, that has a good reputation, that would be willing to apply for the grant, and see if you could start up a class with them.
Okay. Sean?
I'm going to go back to like when I was working, and the association I belonged to had annual conventions. And at these conventions, you attend workshops to earn CEUs. So if we apply for this grant and we say we're going to use it as veterans education, hosting, if we want to call it you can't call it a convention, but you can call it like a workshop, and inviting, to piggyback what Justin is saying, inviting financial institutions to come in and have a speaker, and on the same idea of, say, they're a vendor, obviously, like not so much like a home show vendor, but they're a vendor, and you allot them X number of minutes, and they're not going to, if you invite 2 or 3 financial institutions, they're not going to get, they shouldn't be upset, because each one of them should have maybe a slightly, they could present a different product. Right. They call them products, so let them discuss amongst themselves. Hey, all right, you talk about this, I'll talk about that, type of thing. It's because it's the same thing if you go to say a construction show and you got 3 backhoe dealers. Well, they're going to present a different machine. It's the same thing but different. So I don't know, that's my thinking. Again, if we get the money some way, shape, or form, and we present, not present, but try to do something like that, it might help us.
Okay.
Now having said that, none of us, I don't think any of us have really delved into, the reams of paperwork, if any, that is going to be behind this grant application or be required for this grant application.
No, I did not I glanced at the application. The program is pretty robust. And if you look at, so above the who can apply, it talks about examples of some programs.
Right.
And so they talk about career training, which I completely missed that earlier. So that to me tells me we would be good with, like you were saying earlier, the entrepreneurship. But then the last one is volunteer income tax assistance programs, and the Legion and the VFW, I know that they have people that do that. So if this is somehow that we can tie in this grant to them, Basically, what I think our best approach for this would be is multiple offerings of different things. We do the financial institutions, you do the job fairs, we do the tax stuff, and basically just kind of spread it out. Maybe it's a monthly workshop and it's something different every month. You know, I don't know. There's kind of spitballing ideas here, but I think if we can put it out like that, and we can build a program and say, hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's the people we've already contacted. Bob, we can rely on the EDC to help us out, you know, and I'm sure that they'll be all over it. We can rely on the other committees to help fill this in. I think we would have a very strong program to request this money, because we would be bringing in so many people, and especially if we keep it local. So if we go with the financial institutions locally, go with local entrepreneurs. So we're also promoting local businesses as well. I think that there's a lot there that we can expand on.
Good call.
So Sean, Ed, would this be something that both of y'all would be interested in, maybe just putting together some ideas?
I'll go for it.
Okay. Ed, how would you feel about helping out Sean?
Yeah, sorry, I had it muted there. No, I said a lot though. No, absolutely. I think this is a great idea. So this would be something we can come up with some ideas with. Sure.
Okay. And Ed, I was thinking you, because the rest of us, we've talked ad nauseum about ideas. And so we already kind of have a lot of these ideas we're throwing out now are ideas that we've already talked about. You have not been tainted with all that conversation. So any new ideas, any new direction that we can go would be much appreciated as well. If there's something that we're missing, really, whenever they elected me chair, one of the things that I told them is I want to go from the youngest veterans to the oldest veterans. I don't want to just focus on one age group. So that's all that I ask. Just keep that in mind, but please throw out any new ideas, anything that you have. And then once we get the program together, and we can tweak it, then we can bring it up for a vote on if we want to apply for this grant next year. Any other?
You know, the other part of that, your attachment was that Valhalla run.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you know if that's open to like if you have a walker or a Schwinn?
That is open to anyone.
Okay.
They definitely want anyone to be there. And so what they do is they build a boat, a Viking boat. I'm being told, I've seen pictures of it still under construction, but it looks absolutely amazing. They're saying this is the best boat to date. And then you go and you buy tokens, and the tokens can be for anyone. It's somebody basically that you lost. You put the tokens in the boat, and they push the boat out, and then they catch it on fire. And so they do like a Viking funeral thing. They're trying to get this, the focus on veterans, but they're opening it up to everybody. So it can be, you know, if you lost someone to cancer or just old age, you know, it can be somebody that had an impact on you that you think is a hero. Then you can go and buy a token. So, but they do this every year, and it's a great time. Unfortunately, I didn't go last year. I'm going to do my best to make it this year. So, Sean.
To the 0900, oh, I just answered my own question. KSU is kickstands up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then Bob was running this on GCTV as well for me. I asked them to get that out. We're just trying to spread the word. And these guys, they're looking to help us out wherever they can as well. So,
on a side note, August 27th is my wedding anniversary. So I don't know.
you can just bring her to that. It's a great opportunity.
Sure.
You can ride Jim Swin.
That's it. And if it's up to her, she'll put you in the boat
I know, that's why I don't want to go. I won't
Yeah,
come home.
just increase that life insurance policy before.
Okay,
So the VFW and Legion Commander meet and greet, Bob and I are going Monday to the Legion meeting. The VFW guy, his name just slipped my mind.
Stash,
I'm sorry.
Stan Shapiro.
Yeah, he kept kicking me over to Carmine, or Carmen. So I was like, okay, well, so I'm gonna go through Carmen and I'll bring that up and see it. Is he over Stan or how that all works out?
I'm pretty sure he may be from Leo Minster.
Probably.
Carmine,
Carmine.
or whatever his name.
So it's just the two of us on Monday evening?
Yes. Yep. I didn't want it to get all of us, and then it's their Legion meeting, and then how does that work with the board there? So
Are you dressing up for the event?
dressing up by polo, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Might find
Drab
most
green.
military shirt I have and wear that.
Glad I asked, because otherwise I'm going to show you up.
Well, if you're just coming off of work,
Yeah, I'll be wearing the three-piece suit. And,
well, okay. Challenge accepted.
whoa.
Here it is.
And then the last thing on the agenda. So I was working the Polish House Monument Memorial because one of the guys at the gym, his family were from Poland and they were on the monument, and so he was tied to the Polish House. And he's like, oh yeah, they're selling it. I was like, okay, hang on, wait a minute, what? As far as I know, we don't know that. We're not tracking it. And so we were trying to run down the monument if the monument was moved. It was moved, but Evan and us and no one knew. So that was a huge back and forth.
It came up at a selectmen's meeting. I meant to tell someone that. And I guess it was moved by the DPW.
It
They
was.
moved it.
So
Yeah.
Evan had to reach out. He's like, well, I guess they didn't tell me when they had moved it.
Yeah.
Because it was moved like 2 weeks ago. Well, it would have been like a month ago now. So that is moved, and we don't have to talk about that anymore. But they do have somebody interested in buying that, the Polish House. So she wouldn't give me any details, which I didn't expect her to. But so we'll see what moves in there.
What do you remember her last name?
I don't.
All right.
Words are escaping me. English is hard tonight.
Oh, I'm losing regular English words and everything.
Yeah. But very nice lady. The name of the realtor is on the for sale sign in front of the Polish House. So Bob saw it and passed it on to me, and I just called her up out of the office. And so, but very nice, very, very helpful. Was getting in touch with me. He's like, no, it's moved. I was like, I don't think it is. So yeah.
That's on me. I should have let you know when I knew.
No, it was fine. We were, like I said, I think it was just Evan wasn't tracking it either. So I think that's what kind of threw everything off. So, but, and then we already talked about the Valhalla run. Is there any items that anybody else would like to bring up?
Can I just circle back and review some of the things we talked about?
Yep, feel free.
So Mr. Gallagher is going to contact the town administrator's office to find out about the Facebook page and how to proceed with that.
Roger.
And
Roger that.
I will manipulate the town website Veterans Advisory Committee page and make some additions and some changes. And I'll be sure to list Sean's wedding anniversary under events.
Perfect.
And then when we meet again, we can take a look at it and see if it needs to be punched up anymore, or take new suggestions. So,
yeah.
I know there was one thing I was going to say about grant writing. Supposedly the guru in the town of Grafton for grant writing is the manager of the public library, Beth Galloway. So maybe you and I can take you up there and introduce you. You can get the master class.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's because I think a lot of people have consulted with Beth about grant writing. So.
Okay. And Bob, I know you dropped off for a little bit, but the grant isn't due, the application is due in April. So I didn't do it this time because it was too close, and they are actually asking that you have a pretty solid program plan laid out.
So this would be for next April.
Yes.
Yeah.
So give us a
Well, that's
full
probably
year.
good. Yeah, that's probably good because from what I've heard about grants, it takes a while to write them and make them letter perfect. So
Plus, if they had one look at our Facebook page, they wouldn't give us a dime.
Or maybe they would pay somebody.
yeah, maybe they would. You guys are pathetic.
So
You
yeah, we'll
know,
have
the
a full
thought that
year.
I had about one of the things on the Facebook page, introducing the members, I thought it might be fun in the photos section to have a before and after photo of the committee.
Before and after what?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
like-
thinking back in the day and then right now.
Oh gosh.
So like Bob, when you chased your first C-130.
Oh,
It's just a thought.
If my old chief was here, he would be very confused because in his retirement, he was trying to decide, does he go with, his name was Brett. So he said, do I go with skinny Brett or fat Brett pictures? Yeah. When he first enlisted or now. But yes, Sean.
this probably shouldn't even bring this one up, but anyway, our terms ends June 30th, 22. That's after the election. Are we going to be reinstated?
No, you're not the CPC, don't worry. What'll happen is that they'll send out letters to everyone and ask if you're interested in being reappointed. Okay, and then you just sign that, say yes you are, and send it back to the select board's office. That's how that works.
And then
And
we
then
have a
in the
secret
interim-
ballot and we decide who we get to keep and who we don't.
Yeah, you wish. Get rid of Gallagher. But that also, when that goes out there, that also is a heads up. If there are other people who are interested in being on the committee, we'll find out who they are too. So I don't think we're going to have any threat of anyone being thrown off. If that were the case, I'd have already been long gone.
I'm not looking to throw anybody off. I did have a question about that. I was going to take it offline, but I'll ask it here and then we can just finish the conversation up online. We all expire at the same time.
Can you just rephrase that? So we're not going to all be on a
That's-
plane
okay.
somewhere, you know,
Our
or on
our
that friggin'
terms
boat going to
end.
Valhalla, you know.
Our terms end at the same time. And I know that some committees they'll stagger the terms. So then you're not losing everybody at the same time. So that might be something as well that we need to talk about. And Bob, I can talk to you about that offline.
Yeah. Please be gentle with Stoney. He worked really hard at the gym today. So.
I forgot the age group that I was talking to, so sorry.
All right, yeah, we got a little nervous, yeah. Do you want me to, while I'm reaching out to Evan, do you want me to ask him about that?
Yeah, that works. That works. It'd just be nice to stagger, you know, whether it's 2 year and 1 year or a 3 year, or 2 year and a 1 year. I don't really care. We can have that conversation. Just need to know how we do it. So, Sean.
I think part of, we were stood up pretty quick, thrown together. And I think after we go through a year or 2 years, and then we see how things pan out with the other groups that we're talking about working with, you know, then at that point, we could probably work on, you know, staggering terms, so to
Yeah.
speak. And another not that it's a concern, but it being an election year, I don't know I assume the select board is, the new select board went after the election would still, want to have us around. That's part of the reason I was saying, well, we were stood up for a year. Are we going to continue?
That's not a concern at all on this committee, Sean.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would.
Although don't buy any vintage Army or Navy clothes, just in case.
You've done a lot in this year so far. I'm very excited to see what goes on in the next few years. I just want to say thank you for being a part of this, because you've helped me out immensely. Just being here, just doing this, getting things started has been such a relief for me, because that's all stuff that I don't necessarily have to worry about. I'm a part of, but I don't have to worry about planning all this stuff. So
That's good.
I don't want you to go anywhere, and I'll use whatever influence I can to keep you around. And I think, as Jim said, you don't have anything to worry about. But if anything ever came up like that, oh man, I'd be on that. Like, yeah.
Lies on shit. You can say
Yes,
Yeah.
there you
it. We're veterans. Yeah.
go. Yeah, but people watching this might not be. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they should be old then. If they were old, they'd understand. I usually don't use language like this, right, Bob?
No.
On recorded events.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Do we want, well, we got a meeting. Do we want to do, keep it on Thursdays or Mondays? Go back to Mondays or another day during the week?
I don't mind Thursdays. Thursdays are good for me.
Okay.
As long as it's not the fourth Thursday. I've got community preservation on the fourth Thursday.
Okay. So what if we do the third Thursday of the month, which would be the 19th of May?
Yep.
Oh, that's right, which we have on the agenda.
Yeah, except for I have Monday. So I need
Oh.
to change that to Thursday. Okay. So
Oh, what is
May
that, the
19th at
21st?
1900. I'm sorry.
Is that the 21st then?
No, it's the
Thursday?
19th.
It's
I
the
have the
19th.
date right. I have the day wrong.
Oh, okay.
I left Monday instead of changing it to Thursday. There's always something.
All right.
So
So
You're not going to
plan,
be in charge of the Facebook page either, so. If you can't distinguish between Monday and Thursday, you're out.
I know. I do that on purpose. I do that with my wife too, so she doesn't make me do things around the house.
Oh. Hmm.
What?
Bob, you had something?
so plan A is to use the town's Zoom account when we meet, and plan B is Justin Souza backs us up.
Yep.
Because there's quite a bit of traffic in the Zoom account, so.
And if for any reason I can't be there, I can make sure one of you is the host.
Sean?
One of you who's not me.
Do we plan to segue towards live meetings at Bob's office?
Yes. I was going to do that. We were talking about doing a hybrid thing. But Bob doesn't have the equipment there yet.
Well, we have a laptop available in the conference room, but we don't have the, let me start again. We have a laptop in the conference room, but we would have to borrow one of the town's OWL devices so that we had some way of recording it. And then on the off chance, if one or two people didn't attend in person, they could still participate via Zoom. So if you want to move in that direction, we can. I'll just try and schedule it.
This hasn't been bad though, I think. And
Yeah.
I think about the Justin, having to come in. He's not in town,
Well, that's
so-
that's the example. Justin
Yeah.
would Zoom in, and the rest of us would be live.
And then the problem that you have is really trying to run a meeting with one person on Zoom and everybody else there.
Well, and it would be good though too to leave it open for public. If public doesn't want to show up, they can still Zoom in. So
Trust me, they're not going to show up.
but yeah, I mean, go figure, the recording studio doesn't have a way to record something.
Oh, if
does.
they knew that Stoney and Bob were there, they'd be there in a heartbeat, I tell you.
The TV studio does have a way to record stuff. It's just not set
Live.
up for meetings. It's, yeah.
Speaking of that, how do I get the recording to you?
When the meeting finishes, the video will download probably to your desktop.
Okay.
And then don't interrupt it at all. And when it does, you might end up with 2 files. I don't know because I dropped out there in the middle, but when it finishes downloading, just send me the 2 files and I'll take it from there.
Okay, will do.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second. All right.
Okay.
Jim,
Gallagher, aye.
Sean,
I
Bob,
Aye.
Ed,
Aye.
Justin, I. See y'all in a month.